Hello and welcome to Intro to C. I'm Bill. In today's episode we're going to learn about variables, how to declare them, assign them, and some basic usage of them as well. So, if you recall back from algebra, just stop thinking about programming for now, we can create formulas and such. So we can use these letters or words as a way to substitute or abstract our formulae. So we could have one that said y equals x plus 3. So this means that the value of y is dependent on the value of x, or vice versa in algebra. So if we let the value of x equal 4, this means that y equals 7. And 4 plus 3 is 7. If we let the value of x be 97, that means 97 plus 3, that means 100. So y must equal 100. If we let x be minus 12, y is going to be minus 9, and so on and so forth. This is a formula. So you can see these letters, or x and y, are good substitutions, in a sense, for our data, our code. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing in C. We're going to be creating variables as a way to store data within our program. Because, again, all that programs are, in an abstract way of thinking, is it's a way of transforming data. You've put data in, supplies them in data, your program and your algorithms do whatever they need to give output data. So this input data could be some keystrokes on your mouse clicking, and the output data is graphics on your screen. It could be you supply some numbers from your values of your business, and the output numbers is how much money you owe to the tax man, and so on and so forth. Again, these are just data in a sense. Treat it as plain old data. It could be data for the weather, it could be anything. So now let's think how to declare a variable. So to declare a variable in C is we must specify its type first. Now we already learnt a basic type already from our main function. So the type that we specify is int. Now an int is an integer within C, and int is kind of special. Int is what we call the typical natural size of integers on the host machine. Now, don't worry about that. I'll explain that in the next video when we'll talk about all the basic types. But the only type we're going to be worrying about in this video at the moment is int. So we need to specify the type int. There is the type. Next, we need to specify the name of our variable. And then the name of variable can only contain uppercase and lowercase letters, like from A to Z or A to Z if you're American. It can also have numbers, so 0 to 9, and an underscore. So I could write bananas, that is a variable legal name. I could write bananas 1, 2, 3. I could even put bananas 1, 2, 3 underscore. They're all valid names for a variable. However, even those restrictions, there are even more restrictions on that. Like, we cannot start a variable with a number. We can only start it with either an underscore or a letter, uppercase or lowercase. However, I would not recommend starting a variable with an underscore, because a lot of the standard library does reserve these underscores for certain variables, and in fact, even the language itself reserves those variables as well, which we'll actually see one in the next video. So please try and only start variables with a letter unless you know exactly what you're doing, and if you're a beginner, you most likely won't. So variables don't have to be single words or even letters. They can be actually kind of like big groups of words or even sentences. So I could say bananas are amazing. However, these are 3 separate variables, what I've kind of said, or 3 kind of words. So if I wanted to make this one big word or kind of one big variable, I could get rid of the spaces. And now that is one big variable. So bananas are amazing. However, this is not usually easy to write because they're all the same case. So usually some people have put underscores, which is why there's underscores in C for the variables, to separate the words out so it's easier to read. So bananas are amazing. Some people will also, instead of having underscores, they'll change the case of each new word. So bananas are amazing, because sometimes people find that easy to read. Sometimes they say every word begins with a capital letter. It doesn't matter. Whatever convention you use, be consistent. That's what I'm trying to say. So once we've declared our variable, I'm just going to not call it bananas are amazing, I'm just saying bananas. We need to end it. So there's the end of the statement. We've just declared our variable, which is an integer type called bananas. Brilliant. Now, if we wanted to refer to bananas throughout our code, we must write bananas in the exact form that we wrote it in. So bananas is still loud, but bananas is not, because this has different cases in it for letters. So in C, the compiler says these are two distinct different things, because these are not spelt the same. So C is a case-sensitive language. So that's how we refer to that variable within our code. If we want to use that variable, or even to actually just assign it to something, in fact, we need to assign it. So to assign something, we need to declare the variable's name, and then we use what we call the assignment operator. This is the equals symbol. Now, do not get confused, like in mathematics, what equals means. So equals is kind of like a comparison operator in mathematics. So y is x equal to y. But in C and in many programming language, the equals operator, this equals symbol, means the assignment operator. So whatever's on the left is assigned to the thing on the right. So yes, it's assigned into there. So you'll see what I mean by now. So it says bananas is assigned to be 3. And that's the end of our statement, but put a semicolon there. Brilliant. So as you can see, we've declared a variable and assigned it. We could do another variable as well. I'm going to declare one here, int oranges, and I'm going to write oranges equals 5. So we've declared them, then assigned them, as you noticed. With the coming of the C99 standard, which is again specified 17 years ago, we don't have to actually declare it before we assign it. We can declare anywhere, as it's called. So in the old version of C, we had to declare all our variables first at the beginning of our block or our scope, then we could assign them, in a sense. Make sense? But with C99, we can declare anyway. So instead of saying int bananas, int oranges, bananas equals 3, oranges equals 3, we could have put int oranges there. That is now allowed. And actually, I recommend to do that in my opinion. Many people may not agree with me, but I prefer that because it's easy to read in my sense. And then the other thing about variables is there's some kind of syntactic sugar within C, as it's called. Instead of just declaring things and assigning it, you can do that in one stroke, in a sense. So I can actually go declare and assign a variable all at once. So I declare it's int bananas and assign it to be let 3 all at once. So they are the basics of declaring and assigning a variable, and that's it. So stay tuned for the next video where we're going to learn about the different types. And then after that, we're going to be using printf so we can actually see the variables. So thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next episode.